Listen to that sound. Wind slicing through $100 billion worth of emptiness. Glass towers reflecting nobody. Infinity pools collecting rainwater and dead leaves. Marble lobbies where security guards patrol floors that will never see tenants. This is Forest City, Malaysia's promised miracle that became a monument to failure. 4 artificial islands rising from the Straits of Johor. 70,000 luxury apartments built for 700,000 dreamers. A city engineered to redefine urban living. But here's the truth they buried in the brochures. Only 900 people actually live here. Out of 700,000 planned residents, less than 1% arrived. How does $100 billion buy silence? How does a paradise blueprint become an isolation experiment? Today, we are entering the world's most expensive ghost town to uncover what happens when ambition ignores humanity. 2014, Country Garden Holdings, China's largest property developer, unveils a vision that sounds like science fiction. 4 islands built entirely from scratch off Malaysia's southern coast. Not renovated, not expanded, created from nothing. The engineering alone defies belief. 1,400 hectares of new land dredged from the seabed. Foundation systems designed to withstand tropical storms and rising sea levels. A price tag that would eventually hit $100 billion, making it one of the most expensive construction projects in human history. But Forest City wasn't just about scale. It promised revolution. A car-free metropolis where autonomous vehicles glide silently below ground. Where every building breathes through vertical gardens. Where solar panels and smart grids would achieve carbon neutrality before 2030. The pitch was intoxicating. Imagine Singapore's efficiency merged with Bali's serenity. International schools for your children. Hospitals with cutting-edge technology. Tax incentives that made millionaires salivate. And all of it wrapped in the promise of permanent residency for foreign investors. By 2018, the impossible was becoming real. Towers rose faster than anyone predicted. Shopping malls opened their doors. A water park started operating. The infrastructure was complete. The dream was built. All they needed now were people. Then came the silence. Shops opened for customers who never arrived. Restaurants set tables for ghosts. The water park slides stayed dry except for rain. Walk through Forest City today and you'll experience something psychologically disturbing. The city works perfectly. Street lights turn on at dusk. Air conditioning hums in vacant lobbies. Elevators wait for buttons that never get pressed. It's a fully functional corpse. Meet the invisible residents who did buy here. Chen purchased a 3-bedroom penthouse in 2016 for $800,000. He's visited twice in 8 years. His apartment sits frozen in time, furniture still wrapped in plastic. He's one of thousands of absentee owners who bought Forest City as an investment, never intending to live there. But the real killer wasn't lack of interest, it was politics. 2018 brought a seismic shift. Malaysia's new government looked at Forest City and saw a Chinese colony on their doorstep. 87% of sales had gone to Chinese nationals. Alarm bells rang in Kuala Lumpur. The hammer fell fast. New visa restrictions made long-term residence nearly impossible for foreigners. The promised permanent residency program vanished overnight. Tax incentives disappeared. Foreign buyers who de-invested millions found themselves owning property in a country that didn't want them there. Then there's the mathematics of exclusion. A modest 2-bedroom apartment costs $300,000. The median annual income in Malaysia is $10,000. Do the math. Forest City wasn't built for Malaysians. It was built for Chinese millionaires seeking offshore assets. Local journalist Amir Rahman visited last month. He described it as walking through a luxury graveyard. Perfect sidewalks leading nowhere. Playgrounds with equipment that's never felt children's hands. Gyms with machines still showing factory settings. It's like the rapture happened, he said, but only the rich were left behind. The geopolitical shadow looms large. Forest City sits at one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, right across from Singapore. Critics called it a Trojan horse, a Chinese foothold disguised as real estate. Whether true or paranoid, the perception became reality, and reality killed the dream. Now ask yourself this question. Would you live in a palace if you were the only person on your street? If your children's school had more teachers than students? If the nearest neighbor was 10 floors away? Forest City isn't alone in this failure. Saudi Arabia as the line promises a 170-kilometer long city for 9 million people in the desert. Dubai's planned developments sit partially empty. China itself has dozens of ghost cities built for populations that never materialized. We're witnessing a dangerous pattern. Governments and corporations building cities like products, ignoring the fundamental truth that cities aren't made of concrete and steel. They're made of people, of organic growth, of messy, unpredictable human need. 30 minutes from Forest City sits Johor Bahru, chaotic and alive. Street food vendors, traffic jams, noise and dirt and humanity. Everything Forest City erased in pursuit of perfection. And yet, people choose the chaos, because sterile perfection isn't living, it's existing. The 900 people who do live in Forest City report profound isolation. No community, no spontaneous interactions. Just you and the echo of what was supposed to be. Forest City teaches us something crucial about the 21st century. You cannot engineer belonging. You cannot mandate community. You cannot build humanity's future without understanding humanity first. $100 billion bought the world's most expensive lesson in hubris. 4 islands that prove infrastructure without culture is just expensive emptiness. A warning written in concrete and broken dreams. So here's my question for you. Can Forest City be saved? Or is it destined to become a monument to everything wrong with how we build our world? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story isn't over. The buildings still stand. The question is whether anyone will ever call them home.